Hello and welcome to Mini Course, your gateway to bite-sized learning. In this video, we will talk about the types of probability sampling. Please watch a separate video on non-probability sampling. Let's start. All social science research samples fall into one of two classes. 1. Probability sampling, and 2. Non-probability sampling. What's the difference between probability sampling and non-probability sampling? Probability sampling results from a process of random selection whereby each member of the inverse has an equal chance of being included in the sample, while non-probability sampling results from a process in which judgment, and therefore bias, enters into the selection of members of a universe included in the sample. There is no guarantee that each element has some chance of being included in the sample. What are the types of probability sampling methods? There are four main probability sampling techniques or sampling methods. 1. Simple random sampling. It is considered the best random sampling design because no restriction is imposed, and every member of the population has an equal chance of inclusion in the sample. Example: if a sample of 10 persons were to be drawn from a population of 100 in a restricted random sample, each person in the population has a known 1/10 or 10% chance of being included in the sample because of the way it is drawn. Procedure: assume that there is a population of 600 and that the researcher wants to choose a sample of 100. Thus, she wants to take every sixth person. He has also a list of the people in the population, a residence list, or a list of numbers taken from a numbered dwelling unit map. He may use slips of paper with the names of the sampling units dropped in a fishbowl and draw out the names of the samples. 2. Stratified random sampling. In this type of sampling, the investigator identifies how the overall population is configured and then randomly assigns subjects to the subgroups such that the sample values reflect the population subgroups. The design divides first the population into two or more strata on the basis of one or more characteristics. Each stratum then is treated like a different population, and a simple random sample is drawn from each. These subsamples are then combined to form the total sample. Example: an institution may have 4,000 students, of which 1,000 are males and 3,000 are females. A sample of 221 males is drawn by random technique from the subpopulation, or stratum, of males, and 224 females from the subpopulation, or stratum, of females. 3. Systematic sampling. The systematic sampling method is similar to simple random sampling but often easier to conduct. With systematic sampling, each member of the population is given a number, but instead of a random selection process, individuals are chosen at regular intervals. Example: you set a starting point, say number 5, and select every 10th person on the list, 5, 15, 25, 35. 4. Cluster sampling. Cluster sampling is used when sampling units are found in distinct geographical areas, found in a big population. It is often profitable to do the sample on a cluster basis when the population from which a sample is to be drawn is very big and is distributed over a large area. In this design, the population is grouped into clusters or small units, for instance, blocks or districts, in a city, composed of population individuals and are selected either by random sampling or systematic sampling. The cluster sample may be used when the population to be sampled is very large. It requires a population list or a dwelling unit map of the city or town, but not the entire country. When several considerations that are important to the aim of extracting representatives are present, multi-stage sampling should be used. The design is done in several stages. It can be 2-stage, 3-stage, 4-stage, 5-stage, etc. In this design, the population members or sampling units are grouped into a hierarchy of units, and sampling is done consecutively. Example: in a region-wide study, the provinces are chosen as the first stage, barangays within the sample municipalities as the third stage, and sample rural folks within the selected sample barangays as the fourth stage. Hence, the sampling is in 4 stages. This ends our lesson on probability sampling. In our next video, we will talk about non-probability sampling. Don't miss out. Hit subscribe, like, and share. I'll see you in the next session. Thank you for taking the time to learn with us in our mini course. Your gateway to bit-size learning.